than just nothing.
There's audio now, so.
Now, you're hearing me on Twitter? Huh?
I mean, audio's going up on the Twitter as well as YouTube right now.
So they're hearing me. They're hearing us.
Yes, they are absolutely hearing us right now.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show early. I think that's probably a better way to start a stream instead of having a wide shot.
Do you want to see us instead?
See us?
Would you rather have us or the graphic?
No. Let's see us. Look behind the curtain. I look behind the curtain. We're here.
Look behind the curtain.
This camera over here. What about my cameras? How's my look? I haven't framed myself up. Sometimes my framing's a little off. My framing looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
I need a haircut though. Joining us here in just a little bit once recess is done.
It's a little wide.
It is a little wide.
I can tilt down just there.
Yeah.
Maybe bring it forward.
Jeffrey Stuffing's joining us here in just a scotch. So we'll add him to the call. We've got all the Skypes all lined up, and I'm just doing some preliminary. Let's see, where's that other picture?
All right, I'm going live on Facebook.
Do it, man. Just do it.
I'm going to do it.
Just do it.
I'm going to do it.
Just do it, man.
I'm going to do it.
Go with it.
All right.
Here we go.
I did it. It's done.
Let's make some.
It's done.
What do you think? Should I just go boom, just like that? That's kind of wonky looking, huh?
What's that?
Just framing all this up, just in case. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
We need a person for just in-house, stuff.
Tell me about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to join us and do some in-house kind of stuff like this. So
we're about to officially go live.
Well, let's do it. You want to?
Hold on. No, not quite yet.
No. Just let me know. But like I said, Jeffrey Stuffings, let all your friends know. Jeffrey Stuffings will be joining us momentarily. Are we ready to go live?
We're ready to go live.
Okay. Let's do the roly-poly rolling here. Here we go.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Because you can't drink and talk at the same time.
Leave the conversation to us and order another beer.
You're listening to Texas's live
midday beer-centered show,
Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch. Here are your hosts,
Catherine Contreras
and Josh Stewart.
Hey, everybody. Bringing it down. Welcome to Thursday. Yeah. Hold on, I got to refresh over here so I can see everybody's juicy comments and stuff. Welcome to Thursday, one and all. It's another fantabulous episode of Liquid Lunch. We are into our, third episode of 2019? Is that where we are? I think so. Third episode 2019?
Second.
Third?
Second.
Mm-hmm. No, third. Third so far. It is the 24th. It is a beautiful day outside. It is not as cold as it's been. And today, we're going to welcome in Jeffrey Stuffings. Actually, you want me to go ahead and do that? You know what? Let's kick this out of the way. Everybody look over there. That's Kennedy. He's here. Wave to the people, Kennedy.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Kennedy.
All right. And I see joining the call, one, Jeffrey Stuffings in hot pursuit of, I don't know. Jeffrey, where are you heading? Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you well. I'm actually just headed from my kids' school back to the brewery.
That's cool. It sounded like it was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day outside here. It sounded like the kids were having fun. And
oh, yeah. Gorgeous day in Central Texas right now. So we've had a great winter so far.
Okay. We'll bring Jeffrey's adjusting his so we'll listen to Jeffrey as he drives. There he goes. Oh, look at that. Wait. Oh.
Believe it or not, we get a lot of moving car interviews.
Yeah. It's lunchtime, so you do what you can when you can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeffrey, first of all, just thank you so much. And second of all, what's going on out at Jester King lately?
Well, it's been a busy 2018 going into the new year. We went through a pretty major expansion, not so much in terms of our production capacity, but just the overall experience or overall just total of what's going on here at Jester King. We purchased the rest of the ranch that we were on, where now it's a brewery, farm, restaurant, and a vet hall. So we kind of, in a short period of time, went from just one business to kind of four businesses under one roof. So, time of transition, new people, new jobs, and but it's been kind of cool to create that connection between like farm, brewery, and restaurant a little more. It's been fun to, for instance, have our farmer contribute to the beers we make and have our kitchen contribute as well, and then vice versa. We're a self-proclaimed farmhouse brewery, so being able to kind of tie those things a little better is what we're after.
Yes, I applaud what you've done, trying to keep the farm in the farm. Just buying up more of the land. That's a huge commitment, but man, it really makes my heart feel happy. That you've purchased the land out there, and I know, the spirit of what you guys do. So it's an amazing thing. I have to
thank you.
I have to pay you a big compliment. My wife's parents are not, or at least they haven't been in the past, big beer drinkers. And my mother-in-law, who's a retired kindergarten teacher, I got her to come out to Jester King with me a few months ago. And just the whole atmosphere and it didn't hurt that it was a beautiful day at your beautiful facility, but just the whole surrounding and everything, I think it really it opened her eyes to what beer could be. And it's just an amazing, eye-opening experience. I think you converted somebody who hadn't given beer much thought to now somebody that's. I mean, normally it's just me talking on, and she's like, "All right, enough. Quit talking about beer all the time." But it's an amazing experience out at the brewery.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, that kind of reminds me of a couple things. One, we do find that we can kind of either convert or appeal to some, quote, non-beer drinkers. With everything we do is wild or / mixed culture fermentation, and our beer tends to be very dry, has a lot of kind of like fruit and spice character, has natural acidity, which kind of I think creates a little bit of a crossover with wine. And then of course we use a lot of, not all of our beers of course, but a lot of our beers have fruit and are re-fermented with fruit. So kind of some of these hybridized versions of kind of beer meets wine does kind of appeal to people who just maybe aren't into what might be more a little bit like mainstream craft, IPAs and pale ales and pilsners and stuff like that. And then also, just with our and thank you for those kind words. We're trying to create a just environment where people can just kind of hang out and enjoy friends and family under a live oak tree out here. Beer is such a communal beverage, and just trying to foster a community is something we're trying to do with our business.
Yes, it's one of the most inviting places, and it's one of the you walk out there and it just gives you an overall peaceful feeling. It's way bigger. I mean, I think beer is really like big and in depth, and you can go on a bunch of different levels, as when you examine beer. But being out there where y'all make it and just everything that goes into it, and just I don't know if it's because you put so much of the land around it with the fruit and the yeast and the all the mixed fermentations and all that stuff. I don't know if there's I don't know what it is. I guess we could spend a lifetime studying exactly what creates that emotional experience. But man, having a beer out at your place is it's on another level.
Well, thank you. We love hearing that. I mean, and I think you really kind of hit on something important. It's like I think you create these associations between like place and time and the people you're around, and then the beer itself, and it can kind of I think create an experience that's a little greater than some of the parts. And when I go and for instance like drink lambic at Cantillon, there's just something about like being there and like you can just like smell the cellar and just the floor and just like everything kind of creates this kind of sensory experience that just is way more enjoyable than when I may drink the same beer, in my living room or kitchen or whatever. So, I totally get what you're saying, and we try to very intentionally curate that.
I have to ask, with all the things, all the elements you've added here in just the recent past with the new land purchase, and then you've also you're growing a lot of fruit and veggies out there, grapes and a lot of figs. And I was watching a video this morning of a tour of the farm, and it was really in depth. It was probably it's on YouTube. I'll put a link out on Twitter here in just a little bit. But you guys, I mean, it's really, one, a lot of fruit I'd never heard of.
Right.
Which I really like, because it's like, all right, what experience, is this going to be like? Because you really, I don't know, you can't go into it with an expectation. You just kind of have to experience it for what it is. So when you were first imagining Jester King, was any of that in mind, or is it one of those things where you're like, the opportunity presented itself and you're like, I have to get on this now? What was the going into it?
Yeah, really the latter. Back in 2008, when my brother and I discovered this space, we thought it was cool. We thought it felt very much out there in the hill country, which nowadays it feels like it's almost more in Austin than anything else. And we knew we wanted to do farming. We'd been heavily inspired by breweries like Brasserie DuPont and stateside, Jolly Pumpkin and Allagash and Russian River, and really wanted to kind of pursue these kind of funky, tart, kind of yeast-driven beers. And while by no means do I feel like you need to be in a rural setting to make beers of this style. Just the opportunity to be a little bit outside of town on a ranch just felt right. And so we were kind of very lucky that we ran into just a rancher family that was willing to lease us just a couple acres on their ranch to let us build a brewery. And 8 years later, they just came to us and said, "Hey, we're moving out to Oregon. Y'all want to buy our ranch?" And fortunately, we were able to cobble together an SBA loan to be able to do so, and that kind of brings us to present day as far as being able to now start farming the land and have a restaurant and an event hall and to go along with the brewery.
Well, you've brought on some really, really smart people to help facilitate the farming and I know you guys are growing grapes. Is wine cultivate? I mean, are you planning on doing like straight wine, or will it all be beer, grape kind of hybrid stuff for the foreseeable future?
We'd like to do both. Yeah. Yes, make wine and then also re-ferment beer with grapes. We'll have to do some legal maneuvering to make wine. Texas has some pretty restrictive laws that keep those things very separated. So, we'd have to create a separately licensed place and have like separate ownership. And so assuming we can kind of figure that out, and also assuming that our vineyard produces, good fruit that'll make good wine. Yes, absolutely. I think that, with our spontaneously fermented beer, it's not unlike making natural wine. I mean, natural winemakers will, crush grapes, rack to oak, and then just leave it alone. And that's pretty much our philosophy too with spontaneously fermented beer. Mash grains, cool overnight with ambient yeast in a cool ship, and then rack to oak, and then just let it do its thing, and then a couple years later come back and see if it's blendable. So yeah, I think there's a natural overlap in terms of process, and then also flavor components with again like kind of tartness, acidity, funkiness, a little oxidation, even a little bitterness. And so yeah, I think we're very much kind of there's a lot of crossover between natural wine and wild ale, and so yeah, we very much feel comfortable in that style category.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of shakeup you do in the wine area. I don't know. Wine is it's got the reputation of being being wine, right? I mean,
right.
Pinky out. There's a certain way you're supposed to enjoy it in a certain setting and a certain lingo and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's due for a shakeup, and I'm anxious to see the reverberations of that shakeup when it does start to happen. And I can see you guys being a big part of that, because I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's as a home brewer, I've done some fruit wines and things like that, but it doesn't really get the I don't know. There's just a totally different mindset that goes into, say, like a fruit wine or something compared to a prestigious traditional wine. So, but I don't know. There's still really, really good beverages, and I don't even know that we've scratched the surface, even with the history that is behind wine. So I'm anxious to see what you guys bring to the table there.
Yeah, we'd like to break down some of that. I mean, we're very much aware of that stigma as well. And I mean, even, and not to be like overly stereotypical, but like I used to work at Austin Homebrew Supply, and it was just like two very, very different kind of cultures between like the people who would come in and get wine kits versus the people who would get beer kits. And I kind of naturally gravitated towards the people who'd get beer kits just because they seemed just a lot more fun and easygoing. And so I think that stereotype is real to a certain extent. I would say though that, I think the wine that we're trying to make is basically like, this is our farmer Pepe's words, not ours, but like he says like we're going to make that like stanky country wine. It's basically just I think it's almost like farmhouse Gatorade. It's just like spritzy, light, super dry, refreshing, like not very high ABV, not like massive oak character, not like you're huge California Napa wines, or you're like Rhone Valley massive reds. These are just like just drinkable, spritzy, interesting yeast character, drinkable wines. And I think that's, the same principles with our beer that we've done. So, and then also like, part of it as well is like, we get like fun, geeky wines, but they're like $20 to $25 a bottle price point wines. Like, we try to kind of break down some of that. We just do our standard markup on wine that we do for beer for our guest products. So like we'll see bottles for like $85 in some restaurants' wine lists, and we're selling for $25. And so like we're trying to break that down as well as far as being like this exclusive thing.
Yeah. Well, you bring up the fact that you've got the guest wine list and guest beers as well. And the pizza, obviously, if you go out there, I highly recommend getting a pizza and just, I say go around sunset, just watch the sunset. But I guess that brings up a bit of this legislative session.
Yes.
A couple of bills have been presented to try to get to-go sales for production breweries. You guys have a brew pub license.
Right.
Obviously, that opens up options if the laws do change. You already talked about the wanting to produce wine and things like that. What would be, I haven't looked specifically at these bills to see what they'll allow. I think there's a cap on to-go sales for a production brewery. What would be your ideal scenario if somebody said, Jeffrey, rewrite the entire the entire law?
Sure. I mean, I very much tend towards pretty massive deregulation when it comes to the alcohol industry, for beer, wine, and spirits. I think pretty much all of the pretty restrictive laws, I think, only serve to protect the interest of the distributors lobby. I mean, I think it's, coming out of, prohibition, the middle tier was given, which serves an important role. It's not like I want to see distributors go away. Like we are massively dependent on distributors for our business. But, they have been the most powerful tier, and they've written the laws so that they benefit the most, they have the most control. And, the two main distributor groups in Texas, the WBDT and the Beer Alliance, like, these are, I mean, like Andrews Distributing, this is just an anecdote, but I mean, like they have a box at Cowboy Stadium next to like Jerry Jones's box. I mean, these are like super powerful individuals, and they tend to get their way. And, I would pretty much strip away basically everything that's not pertaining like directly to public safety. I would get rid of it because I just see it as just a way to line, the political elite's pockets.
Yeah, it's an interesting process, or it's an interesting time in history, right? And I don't know that it's always a great thing to be in the interesting times in history, but we're in a time where the ability to not cover up, but to, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, Kennedy? Propaganda. What's the word for propaganda? Whatever. Anyway, sorry, I don't know. Lost word. Anyway.
You're trying to use big words.
I'm trying to use big words, and my mouth won't allow me, and my brain. The ability to put out a narrative that's simply, so skewed that it borders on just falsehood. I mean, everybody has the ability to communicate now and say, hey, here's the reality, and the technology to allow, when you talk about, public safety laws, I think we're going to live in a time where like DUI will be something that nobody has to worry about anymore. We got Uber and Lyft and robots about to fly us out to wherever we need to go by a drone or whatever. It's we're in a weird, like, interesting, like, middle ground battle zone where I think they're hanging on to that old model, but I wish they just.
They are. I mean, as far as specifics, I mean, yeah, the to-go sales for production breweries really needs to happen. I mean, we're now the only state where production breweries cannot sell beer to go. I mean, brew pubs, wineries, cideries, distilleries can all sell to go. Production breweries cannot. You can go to, for instance, Real Ale Brewery in Blanco and buy their gin and whiskey to go. You cannot buy their beer to go. It's silly. It's just does nothing. I mean, to me, it's just patently obvious that, again, the middle tier does not want to potentially lose those sales. And I remember, this is long ago, but I remember a representative of, I forget which group it was, but I think it was the Beer Alliance, said, we're going to fight you for every bottle. And, at the time, I'm just like, well, I appreciate the honesty. And that's what they do. We were very lucky and grateful, thanks in large part to, the Guild, and then specifically, St. Arnold and Freetail kind of being, real pushers for the 2013 deregulation that let brew pubs sell beer to go. Our profit margins doubled overnight. There's no way in a million years we would have been able to preserve, acreage in the hill country and start a farm and a ranch and a restaurant without that deregulation. And so, yeah, I mean, I understand there's a lot of powerful economic interests at play, and I understand that maybe distributors or retailers don't want the extra competition, but I'm not totally free market all the time for everything. But I think in the case of beer, yeah, it's like let's let the public decide. Don't artificially pick winners and losers.
Yeah, and I think what they'll find is that you can, as much as I try, I can only spend so much time at breweries.
Right.
I have other obligations. My wife has some pretty strong opinions on me spending every waking moment at breweries, and she's like, "You forgot the kids' names again, so you got to come back home." I think it'll lead to more sales at your your local grocery store. When you run into HEB, you spent time on the Saturday afternoon out at a brewery and had a fantastic beer that you might not have run across. You're like, you know what, I want to try that again sometime later this week with dinner. So when you're there, I think it would spawn more sales. I
do too. I think it builds the category of craft beer. It helps grow the pie. I mean, by having those on-site to-go sales, it allows production breweries to expand more quickly and add capacity, which I think just then leads to more distributor sales. So, yeah, I think it's a very narrow view, just kind of zero-sum view that the distributors have taken thus far in Texas.
Yes. Well, speaking of, I said spawning sales, so that made me think. We have a bottle of Spawn on the table here.
Cool.
Hey, Kennedy, grab that bottle, and you brought it. Let's tell the people what we have in front of us. I'm not going to play the open.
All right. So, what we're looking here, I have a 2017 Spawn #1 that I picked up at your brewery last March, I believe.
Cool.
Looks like it was bottled January 25th, 2017.
Got it. Okay. So that would be our second year of releasing Spawn. Spawn, just short for spontaneous, is our 100% spontaneously fermented beer. So for these beers, we don't pitch yeast. We rather just let the wort sit out overnight in our cool ship. And if anyone listening is unfamiliar with the cool ship, it just looks like a big open vat. Ours is made of copper. And then we have windows all around our cool ship, and we open up the windows and let the air flow in and let the microbes that are in the air flow into the room and land into the wort. And then, the closest, I'd analogize it to, naturally leavened bread, where you'd put the dough on your windowsill and let airborne yeast cause the dough to rise. Similar principle with spontaneously fermented beer. We call this one our 3-year blend. It's inspired by Belgian Goose, which is a blend of 3 or more years of lambic. Again, 100% spontaneously fermented beer. So this would be beer from 2016 winter, 2015, and 2014, bottled in early 17, and then released, I believe it was like December of 17 that it came out. So almost a 4-year beer to make. And then, for us, spontaneous fermentation, we know of really no better way to just create that unique connection to time and place. You're singling out one night of the year and one location to create a fermentation that's just impossible to recreate. And, what we like to embrace is just natural variation. Like it's not like we're changing our recipes every batch. The recipes stay the same, but we're using, ingredients, whether it be like Texas malt from Blacklands or well water or aged hops from our barn, and wild yeast and bacteria from the air to create something that's just going to naturally vary from batch to batch. Again, kind of that wine analogy with just different vintages, different years, producing different flavors and aromas. And I love carefully engineered beer. Like I drink Pilsner from Live Oak almost every day, but I also really love that kind of the opposite of that is that kind of lack of control, just allowing nature to kind of make the beer and not so much humans.
It's like a liquid time capsule.
Yeah.
And I say that because it's locked down because Kennedy's having trouble. He's having trouble opening. Get the other bottle. The other bottle probably has a better. Yeah, it's got a little bit better. Oh yeah, it does have the cork in it, so you're gonna need that anyway. Well, one, I have to give you kudos for having. That's, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't tell Jeffrey that we were going to have this beer today. All of that was, planted firmly in his memory.
You didn't even know we were going to have this beer.
Yeah, right. That you walked in and blessed us with a little bit of spawn. What have you learned about y'all's the bugs and all that kind of cool stuff floating in your air? What have y'all learned since y'all started this whole journey?
I would say that the flavor and aroma profile that we get is, I would say, pretty unique, and I think that's no wild surprise or anything. We'd be a little disappointed if it were kind of like either lambic or spontaneously fermented beer from other regions. One cool thing that we've noticed, we take our cool ship. Our old cool ship out to different places. Like, for instance, we take it out to this vineyard near Wimberley to the south of us, and put the cool ship in the middle of the vineyard and collect the microflora from a vineyard called Cruz de Camal to the south of us. And, it's the same recipe, same ingredients, but, like, the beer just tastes totally different than the beer we're making at Jester King, like 40 miles away. And so... yeah, with our microflora, I get a lot of like stone fruit, like peach, apricot. I would say, as far as like process, the thing that we've become most keen on kind of tweaking is like the amount of hops we use. We're using aged hops, so we take fresh hops, mainly whole cone hops, put them into a bag, like it's a breathable like burlap bag. Then put them into the attic of a barn at ambient temperature and let them just sit up there for about 2 years before we use them, and then become very like dried and wilted. They kind of smell kind of a little barnyardy, a little funky, and they well, number one, they preserve the beer as it kind of slowly journeys across years, and then I feel like the compounds in the hops interact with the yeast to create some just like really interesting kind of like musty, stellar, like cobweb attic type of kind of rustic character. And that's one of the things I love. Again, this beer was inspired by lambic and goose, and that's kind of one of the things I love the most is kind of the interplay, or as scientists will say, like the biotransformation as like old kind of gnarly hops interact with wild yeast. Like practically or procedurally, that's something we've really kind of picked up on, is like how different hopping rates kind of have an impact on the beer. And then blending's always such a roll of the dice. we blend something that we think tastes good and that has the potential to go in a good direction. But from there, it's just kind of we'll see what happens.
Yeah, really, it's kind of a gamble. You just never know. Like two flavors, you think, all right, these are going to go great together. But I don't know. But it's fun.
It is.
When you talk about like aged hops, does the variety of hops matter as much, or are you just looking to get that preservative? Like once they get to a certain age, are they all kind of similar, or how does that work?
I think it matters. We've had, I mentioned our friends at Real Ale. They gave us some, I think it was 15% alpha acid. I forget the variety. It was I think Centennial or Challenger, one of the C hops. And it just, those hops still, I feel are just too bitter and too aggressive for, kind of this style of beer. So we're mainly using Fuggle or Challenger or Golding or Spalt, these hops that are kind of in that 3, 4, 5% alpha acid range. Again, kind of the more aggressive kind of West Coast, Yakima Valley hops, I feel are just a little bit too much for this style, even after they've been aged.
Yeah, you don't want to, if you have a jazz ensemble, you don't want to bring in a death metal guitarist. It kind of throws off the balance a bit. It could be interesting. It actually, and I'm sure a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's a cool fusion." But
I think one thing is because we're using a pretty high ratio of hops, so anywhere from 0.75 to 1.25 pounds per barrel, and that's again for kind of that preservative effect as the beer just sits in the barrel for anywhere from 1 to 3+ years, and so. I think it's kind of, you need to add a lot of hops to preserve it, but then if it's a lot of high alpha stuff, even after it's been aged, it just gets, in our experience, it just gets too out of balance too quickly, too bitter. For instance, I've never done this experiment, but I was looking on I think it was Beer Advocate, and someone posted a lab analysis of several Cantillon beers, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that there actually is a fair amount of bitterness. I think Cantillon Goose was 25 or 30 IBU, and excuse me, and that's something we really see too with our aged hops. Is even if they've been in the attic of a barn for a couple years, and they still have a fair amount of bitterness to them. So I think it's just real key to kind of at least make lambic style beer to start with low alpha hops.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Jeffrey, I have a question. Getting back to the spawn, on your brew days, are your brew days typically only in during the winter? Because I know with Cantillon, they only brew during the winter months because it's cold.
Is this where you humbly brag about your trip?
No, I wasn't going to say. I wasn't going to say anything about that.
I'm not going to say how jealous I was, but okay. No, good.
Yes,
good
I've been to Cantillon.
All right.
That's right. We're right now kind of in the middle of our very short coolship season. In our experience, we need overnight lows in the low 40s or colder. Otherwise, the wort just really never gets down to a good fermentation temperature, and then by the time it starts fermenting, it'll be if it's still 95 or 100 degrees, it can create some really harsh flavors, fusel alcohols, kind of nasty fermentation character pretty quickly. So yeah, it's just it's just the same principle as using a wort chiller. You got to get down to fermentation temperature, or your fermentation's going to probably be pretty crappy. So fortunately, 42 Fahrenheit or below is cold enough to get our wort down to 75 degrees the next morning, which usually works out great. But yeah, I mean, if we tried it in July, the wort would still be 105 degrees the next morning probably, and it would probably make some nasty beer.
Yeah. Is it just looking at our weather for this week? It's been kind of up and down, really cold, and then the next day it's 70, and then the next day it's back in the 40s again during the day, and it's 70, and then 12 hours later a chance of snow. Do you need a certain is it just like maybe like a 12 or a 24-hour time period where it's lower temperature, or do you need a couple days, or how does that work?
Yeah, I feel if we get a kind of a segment of time where it's going to be like lows in the 30s for like 3 or 4 days, that works out pretty well. I mean, even if it gets up into the 50s or 60s during the day, that in our experience is okay, just so long as it gets pretty cold at night.
Okay. Do you have any? Have there been any instances where you had to come in and brew at 3 a.m. to take advantage of temperatures and things like that, or just kind of a more relaxed approach and like the weather will come to us?
Yeah, a more relaxed approach. I mean, we don't have a ton of space in our barrel room, so we're only doing like a dozen batches of spontaneous beer a year, about 30 barrel batch size, so like almost about 900 gallons or so, which isn't insignificant, but isn't that much either. So we can kind of be patient. We've been lucky that we've typically every year. There was one year where I think only did like 6 batches just because it was so warm. But last winter was the coldest one I can recall, and this one has been cold enough. So yeah, and the brew day is so long because we turbid mash, which takes 3 hours, and then after we lauter and then boil for 4 hours, just kind of again inspired by lambic. You're looking at a 10-12 hour brew day. So we kind of are forced to, just kind of start in the morning of the previous day. So we're not that nimble, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because the brew day is so long. So we just kind of have to go off of the weather forecast.
Okay. Well, speaking of weather forecast, I was looking at this weekend, and it looks like Saturday is going to be just beautiful there in the Austin, Dripping Springs, the Hill Country area. Y'all got a big event coming up this weekend, Doom Forge Day.
Yeah, collaborations give us a chance to kind of step out of what we typically do. We do make a few higher gravity beers. We make a few stouts, but we're just we've really never been the brewery to do like bourbon barrel or kind of adjunct, imperial stouts. I mean, I like those beers, but it's just not something we've ever really done. But we did a collaboration with Evil Twin Brewing, and they're kind of known for that. So we decided to make an imperial stout that was aged in maple bourbon barrels that we then added toasted vanilla beans to. And then it's still, a wild ale, still mixed culture, but just we've never really done like an adjunct imperial stout before, and we called it Even More Metal as a reference to, Evil Twin makes these beers like even more Jesus, even more like Yepa, and so we called it Even More Metal. It's kind of a nod to our black metal imperial farmhouse ale, farmhouse imperial stout. And then we kind of complemented it with a guest lineup. Like our license, fortunately, lets us bring in guest beers. So we just basically sourced a bunch of imperial stouts from a lot of our friends, and we're going to accompany it with doom metal music and stuff like sword and knife making and like fire twirling and just a bunch of just kind of metal stuff yeah, should be fun. We've never done this event before.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Let's see. I'll look at my notes. The T-shirts are in too. The T-shirts are cool. So if you can get yourself a T-shirt. But noon to 10, and then let's see. Beers from 512 Prairie out of Oklahoma. Weathered Souls. Let's see. The Brewery, Stone, Austin Beer Works, Freetail. Just an epic lineup of really good beers and fun stuff. Of course, will the goats be out? That was one of the things that got my wife to go last time. She had goats in FFA back in the day, and
oh yeah, goats will be out. I'm actually looking at them right now. We do a farm tour at 2:00 and 4:00 on Saturday, which goes into the area where the goats are, and then we also have a little half-mile farm trail that goes right by the goats. So as long as it's daylight out, you'll be able to see the goats.
Okay. How many goats do y'all have?
We have about 20. We have 4 moms, a couple goats that are about 1 year old, and 1 male goat. And then all the 4 moms are due starting like next week going into February. So we're trying to, over the next couple of years, either triple or quadruple the size of our herd, and then start a creamery and start making goat's milk cheese.
Oh, that's fun. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
All right. Well, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. So if you're in the Austin area this weekend, check out the festivities 12 to 10. And, if you're not this weekend, well, fortunately, Jester King's not going anywhere. They're not going to pick up the whole ranch and move it. So when you get there, make sure you go and hang out and have a delicious beer and watch the sunset. And if you see a goat, pet a goat. If you see Jeff, don't pet him. Just say hi. And maybe have a pizza. The peaches are delicious.
Well, maybe he likes to be petted.
Look.
You say hi.
Just all right.
Well, I mean, some people do.
Well, listen, we don't need to get into all that. All right. Well, Jeffrey, we don't want to take up too much of your time today, but thank you so much for taking the time to be on our little show here, and we appreciate it a lot. And,
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure, guys, and hope you enjoy the spawn.
oh, all right.
We did.
Yes. Is yours gone already?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, Jeffrey, thank you so much. Jeffrey Stuffings, everybody. Jester King Brewery in Austin. Go see them. So it's so worth it. You owe it to yourself if you're alive. You owe it to yourself to go do that. All right.
Right on.
Jeffrey,
Cheers,
thanks so
guys.
much.
Thanks a
All right,
lot.
cheers. Talk to you later. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Stuffings. That was cool.
Bye, Jeffrey.
Bye. Oh, now, look at him. Look at that weather out there. I just got to flash it. He was on the video, but he was walking around.
He was on the video. I didn't want to put it up, but I'm pretty sure it was the palm of his hand
We were literally talking to the hand the entire time.
because I could tell it was skin,
Yeah.
and I was pretty sure it was the palm of his hand, and
Unless
I wanted to ask him.
Was he wearing
You know,
booty shorts and
I'm
then
like,
just popped in his
exactly
pocket there?
what body part have I been staring at for the
I'm
past
pretty sure that was
30
palm.
minutes?
I'm pretty sure that was
I'm
palm.
pretty sure it was palm,
Yeah.
but it was definitely skin, and I wouldn't say wrinkly, but there were some folds in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we-
Adam. I didn't look over in time to.
we had
ask the question.
had a couple of questions.
I'm sorry. We had told him 30. We were at 40. It's one of those things where you can just keep talking. And he
Yeah.
touched on the goats, which was my biggest
He
question.
touched the goats.
You know what? If I owned that many goats and they were just there, have you ever seen goats like in person?
Oh yeah,
Like little baby goats.
Uh-huh.
They're adorable.
They are adorbs.
Yeah, and if you, I know there's a couple of groups around Houston, or at least one that I know of around here. They're at Murdoch. Some of them they do goat yoga.
Oh, that is.
Have you done it?
No, but it's all over the place.
Well,
I see goat yoga all the time. And
Well, if you get a cute little baby goat coming up and just like, because they climb up whenever you're high, right? So if you do like down dog and your back and your booty
Yeah.
are up high, they'll climb up on you.
the
they'll-
pictures they're standing on somebody's back.
Yeah.
all the time.
And they're
Yeah.
just cute. I mean, I don't want to bring a goat home, right? But I don't know. You could pick a worse pet.
I mean,
Like a rabid armadillo would probably be worse
yeah.
than
When
a goat.
when we were kids, there's some friends of my parents, and they raise goats, and we'd go over there, and they'd have all this goat milk related stuff, like goat milk cheese, and
I bet you they
but
put that
it wasn't good though.
Did they make
Like,
it themselves?
I remember, they made it themselves, and we'd have to go over there. My brother and I hated it.
Yeah. How old are you?
Oh, I was probably like 14,
Okay.
and they just have I don't know. I guess they weren't doing it right because all their goat stuff was not good.
Well, it has a little funk to it, right?
I mean, I like goat cheese, but I didn't. Maybe I just didn't like it back then. And so my brother and I would go out because it was when the grown-ups were talking, we'd go outside and hang out with the goats.
Play fetch with the goats?
Yeah,
They don't really
They're-
fetch.
They poop constantly.
Yeah, it's like
It's like just a constant stream of like BBs coming out of their
machine gun poop.
butt. Yeah. And when you got like 20 of them, you go into their pen, you're gonna get pooped on.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
You got to gird your loins for that.
Yeah.
That's just what you got to do. Just be like, all right, I'm getting pooped on today. It's like when you have kids.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
So I didn't want to mention this while Jeffrey was on.
Okay.
You got called out. I got called out, but it was really you got
Oh,
called
by
out.
Jeffrey, I saw.
Yeah.
Little bubbles on this. I didn't rinse this glass. It's been in the cupboard a little long.
Yeah, you're part of the Dirty Glass Mafia.
I'm not part of it. I got called out by the Dirty Glass Mafia. That's what happens.
Oh,
Little side bubbleage. Yeah, I
Yeah.
should have rinsed the glass before I brought it in. These TQ from Save the World. I think they're the TQ.
oh,
Say that on the bottom. I don't know. They're the same sort of shape, but Save the World Brewing. They're in Marble Falls. If
All
you're
right.
in the Marble Falls area, that is a place you should visit as well. All of their
Save the World. Yeah, I've been wanting to go there.
Yeah, they're great. They do a lot of like Belgian-inspired beers. Their Bier de Garde, maybe the best Thanksgiving beer ever. Like as far as like going with a full feast like that, paired so well with so much. And all their profits go to charity.
All their profits, 100% of their profits go to charity.
Yes, when you factor in now, you got to define them the correct way. So they pay their employees,
Right. Yeah.
but the owners are former physicians, former doctors.
Oh, so they don't need the money.
They don't need the money, and so they go Habitat for Humanity.
That's good.
Meals on Wheels. There's a couple more. It's been a little while since I've talked to them, but they brew typically on Thursday. They're probably brewing right now, so we're gonna have to do another show on another day to get them in.
So Rudy just commented and told us great show, and I
Thanks,
want to take a moment to thank Rudy.
For what? Just for saying thanks for a good show?
No, for something else.
Oh, what?
Much more important. Well, I wouldn't say more important, but he did me a solid.
What was that?
Well, I showed up to Southern Yankee
You don't
Brewing
say.
Company the
Yeah?
other day,
Oh.
and I couldn't help notice that my name was on the wall.
Oh, your name, your whole name?
Well, not exactly my full name.
What was on there?
Well, in parentheses between the Chris and the Kennedy,
Yeah.
were the words "old fart."
Old fart. Why would he say that?
I don't know.
Why would he say that?
I don't know.
Why would he put that on there? Rudy, why would you put that on there?
That was pretty rude. That's pretty Rudy.
Why would he put
Rude.
that? What would give him that idea?
I don't know. No,
Why
I
do
don't
you-
know. I mean, I appreciate the beer, and you can call me old fart all you want if you want to.
Well, then everybody, if you
beers.
buy Kennedy a beer, Chris Old Fart Kennedy. Now that I'll have confession.
yeah,
Rudy was there.
yeah.
He messaged me. I just wanted to make sure. He was like, Chris or Christopher? I was like, just put Chris Old Fart. And then he's like,
Oh,
Old Fart Kennedy. And he
that
said-
was you.
Well, it wasn't me. I just,
You put the idea.
I can't
Yeah.
take full credit for it. I just have to
Yeah.
be honest and say I may have inspired Rudy to be your bees.
Oh well, I say.
Is that okay?
That's fine. And I paid it forward, by the way, Rudy.
Who'd you buy a beer for?
Rudy.
Oh, right back at him. So
Yeah, I paid it-
boomerang.
I paid it
Boomerang
forward.
camaraderie.
Yeah.
That's how
I was only on that board for like 2 days.
How often do you find yourself at Southern Yankee now? It's right by. It's not far from your house.
It's super close. How long has it been open? 'Cause I've been there like 4 times.
6 months, 7, 8 months. I don't know.
I don't think it's been open. No, so they just had their grand opening, their official ribbon cutting
Yeah, but it
opening
was-
ceremony. So
Okay, 3 months, 4 months. Because no, when we did the podcast there, it had been some time, like a week or 2. Honestly, I don't know.
oh,
I could tell you, but it would be just me
I've-
pulling a number out of my.
I don't know. I want to say I've been about every other week.
Adam, I apologize for not asking your question. That's a very excellent question about fooders, which are the big barrels.
Fooders.
Yeah,
Okay. I was going to jump in, but I didn't know how to say that word, and I didn't want to look stupid.
no, fooder, which is the big like classic fermentation vessels
Yeah.
that they used to use back in the day. They're basically just huge barrels. But yeah, that's an excellent question because they do have a lot of trees, and even you got to harvest those. Hey, it's one of those things that takes a while to harvest. Oak trees take a long time to grow. Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
I just got a package.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm checking it because, we have.
Where did you order it from?
Huh?
Where'd you order it from? Did you get it on Amazon.com?
I did.
Did you go to liquidlunchshow.com/Amazon and use the affiliate
Of course.
link? Did you?
Yeah.
No, you
No.
didn't. You forgot, dude. You bookmark it. All right,
I got
time out.
It was a
Okay.
t-shirt.
Doesn't matter. Every little bit helps. So here's what I'm going to ask from you and from all the dozens and dozens of people watching currently and in the future on this replay or
Yeah.
listening to the podcast.
Okay.
If you would please help us support the show, because I know everybody shops on Amazon. If you go to liquidlunchshow.com/Amazon, that is our affiliate link, And so everything you buy, from T-shirts to mixers to mixers for in your kitchen, anything, will give us a little bit of a kickback as an affiliate link. And it costs you no more money. It's just your normal, fantastic Amazon shopping, but helps us get things like a new
Is that
camera.
it?
Is what it? liquidlunchshow.com. You know, our website that you've probably never been to. Thanks, buddy.
I've been to it.
liquidlunchshow.com/Amazon. And there you go. That's the affiliate link. It's all, you go right there, you bookmark it, then every time you go to Amazon or click your bookmark,
There you go.
Boom.
It's right there.
yeah. Yeah, if everybody would buy, your toilet paper through Amazon and use that link, boom. I don't know if it works with the subscribe and save every time you get it, but that first purchase, that'll help. So, more books and recording gear, new headphones, and cameras.
Hold on. We got a parting.
Cables.
I just noticed this.
What's that?
We got a parting shot.
There you go. That's proof. He was actually.
Yes.
It wasn't a voice actor.
No.
Actually, Jeffrey. That's pretty cool, man. Having Jeffrey Stuffings on our show,
That was.
and like having Kelly last week, and Nate, and having Sydney the week before that.
Yeah.
2019 is
We're off to a
rip roaring start.
Here we are.
Okay, so here's another one I'll throw out there to the people, the power of the people.
Hold on. I know you're. I gave you way more than
No, I
on
just been
that
talking
on
Make it
that
happen.
pour. No.
Are you gonna open another one?
Yeah, but
What was ABV on the Spawn? Did they put it on there? Do they know?
I don't know. Do they even know?
They may know. I'm sure it's on there somewhere in the range. It's probably lower. I'm gonna say it's probably like 4.5.
I believe like the lambics, the goose,
Mm-hmm.
the goose. I believe those are like 6.
I guess it depends on how much of the
I don't think it says.
Fruit fermentation and that sort of thing.
Oh, 5.6.
Okay, a little higher than I said, but yeah, 5.6 is not. That sounds about right. Most of Jester King's beers are
Yeah,
lower.
this 12.7 ounce bottle is kind of pricey.
Well,
but well worth it.
Okay.
And then after you,
what do you say? What's pricey? Do you remember how much you paid for
it
that?
was like $20.
Totally worth it.
But then when you hear about what actually goes into this particular beer,
Yes.
and like how right the conditions have to be, and how long these are, this is like 5 years of beers, or at least 3 years of beers
Yeah.
in this thing. So
Well, when you talk about yeah,
it's actually not that bad, I guess, when you think about it. And if it was wine, it would be
$89.
yeah,
and
something like
17
that.
cents plus tax.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny.
What's the best JK selection to start with?
Oh gosh, you're going out there, huh?
Have you? Well, my favorite, obviously. Well, I don't know how obvious it. My favorite's the Spawn. They're not the spontaneous for.
Well, I don't think. Okay, so when you go out there,
That's
and this is your first time to go out there, Danny, I'm assuming. One, I'd say take a walk around, take it all in. That's my first suggestion. Hopefully the weather's really nice for you. Second, maybe decide if you're going to eat out there. I always start with food. Like, what am I in the mood for food-wise? Or what do they got that would be really good together, food and beer-wise? And then I kind of let that make my decision.
you said yes.
Yeah, first time, yes, eating. You got to get some pizza.
Yeah. I haven't had the pizza out there, but I've only been there once.
Well, it was Stanley's, and then they bought it. So
Yeah.
it was Stanley's Farmhouse Pizza, and I guess they still call it Stanley's. I don't know. They had just picked it up, and you can anyway. Like the oven is like an old bus, like a fire oven, if I remember that correctly.
Which one do you want?
Oh, the next beers. What'd you
Yeah.
get? Let's
No.
hoist
yeah.
them up there, and let's.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get to both of them.
No, but what do we got?
All right, hold on. We have got. Oh, also, Danny, are you a fan of the sour beers or the Jester King in general? Because
If you're, I was looking behind me. If you're driving, they have a big selection of lower ABV beers. So like the Le Petit Prince, which is what you've got in front of you, is what they call
Yeah.
it, a table beer, daily provisional beer. It's
La
like
Petite Prince.
under 3, right? Or right at 3?
Yeah, it's called their Farmhouse Table beer.
Mm-hmm. It's like a
And-
3, right? 3, 2,
I don't
2,
see-
7, something like that.
Where is it? Am I blind?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is 2.9.
Okay, 2.9.
So yeah, this is
It's
this real 2.9. That's wow.
I don't. Yeah,
I think that's the lowest I've ever seen.
well, read on the. I don't know if that's like a what we call a. I don't know if that's what you call second runnings. You know, if they do a bigger beer and then they do this one, or if they just aim for it. But it's just you're going for flavor. It's light. It's you know, the mixed fermentation and the it's a good one. And then what was the other one you got? It's the
No.
hoppy one, right?
Yeah, the Noble King.
Noble King.
The
What's the AB? That one's like 6.7.
6.5. Yeah.
6.5. Okay. I'm gonna say let's go
the hoppy. I know which one you're gonna pick.
Le Petit
Yeah.
Prince because it's the early day. It's lunch.
It's
This is liquid lunch, not liquid lush. Eh?
well.
Eh?
I think it's more of we have obligations after the
That's
show.
what I'm saying. That's what you do at lunch. Is that in the green bottle?
Yeah.
They did. They've done some experimentation with because not all their bottles are green, right?
No.
They've done experimentation with the green bottles. They actually want to get a little bit of the light, not light struck, but the reaction from the hops and the sunlight and the different lights or different flavors that come about. Danny, what kind of pizza do you like? Hit me up. Wait. Thank you. They got so much good pizza out there. So if you're gonna eat, I'd say start with your pizza and then find something that'll stand up. Because if you're getting like a lot of sausage, like a little spicy sausage, you want something that's a little more robust, right? A little maltier maybe. If you're gonna go spicy, maybe you go with the Noble King, or maybe something that's only there at the brewery. Or if you're wanting to go, they had Electric Jellyfish last time I was there, which is from Pine House Pizza.
Oh.
Fantastic beer. Speaking of Pine House Pizza,
Hold on. They have other people's.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
yeah,
Yeah. So if you're not a fan, and I read a lot of the reviews on Jester King, and a lot of the bad ones seem to all be either A, it's too hot outside, but it's summer.
why did you go in August?
Yeah, exactly.
If
Or
you're that sensitive,
or like I didn't like any of their beers.
Well.
I mean, and so I guess they want you to know before even going out there, most of their beer, the beers are going to be on the sour side.
well, yeah, not even just sour, but mixed fermentation, so
Yeah.
maybe funky or whatever as well.
Funky, yeah, I guess
different
the
levels
better.
and variations, but they have a little bit of something for everybody. Like I said, they had the Electric Jellyfish last time I was there. They've got a lot of different, like your more traditional craft beer varieties. Is it Murdoch's? What'd y'all have out there at Murdoch's when you went after they were here? Hey, what's up, Jose? Listening on the audio side. Did I switch? Oh, I didn't
I
switch that.
don't remember what we. Oh man, I don't remember what it was. It was a Jester King.
I want to apologize to.
I'm sorry, Danny. I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Yeah. Jose,
But
apologize.
but I'm sure if you like that one, you'll there's a lot for you at Jester King.
I appreciate on the audio side. Can we just can we spitball some ideas real quick?
Yeah.
Do we have anything
of course.
specific we need to talk about?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay. So Jose just got here on the audio side. This is something I've been talking about for a while.
Okay.
Okay. I do. Y'all know I do Interbrews, right? Anybody not know I do Interbrews? Anybody not the podcast Interbrews? Anybody need to subscribe? I'll wait. Everybody go subscribe real quick. That's my
All right.
podcast.
We don't want too much dead air.
No, but I'll wait. You're subscribed, right? Just lie.
Huh? Of course. You want to?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm
I'm going to prove it to you.
pick your favorite podcasting directory, whether it's on Android if you want to do Stitcher or Google Play. I think there's a Google Podcast. I think those are two separate things. Or if you're on Spotify. Okay. Jose says he's subscribed on some Android app. I'm pretty much everywhere. iHeart. Boom! Look at that.
You see,
Liquid Lunch and cereal. Are those all the ones you're subscribed to?
Yeah, well, some of them, but yeah.
Okay.
Interbrews and Liquid
Dan
Lunch.
Carlin's. That's a great like road trip
Oh yeah, yeah.
podcast.
It's great.
Yeah.
Although Stitcher doesn't really have a big selection of Dan Carlin.
No,
No. No,
you
I
can
mean
probably
his-
download it from the website. It's
Yeah.
called Beyond Pod. I didn't even know I was on Beyond Pod, but apparently I'm on Beyond Pod too.
Oh,
There you go.
Nice.
Oh, it's fantastic. I also try to post them on YouTube and that sort of thing. This week's episode at recorded at Brew 30. And if you'll see this, Jose, there's a supplemental feed called Interbrews with Josh Stewart, which is my anchor feed. Also, Liquid Lunch has an anchor feed as well, which is supplemental. We'll call it supplemental. Well, an anchor feed if you're on Anchor. What was I going to say? Anyway, here's a thought I've been having. So I do
Shoot.
Interbrews, right?
yeah.
But my thought is, okay, so Interbrews is these long sit-down conversations. This week we recorded at Brew 30. That was yesterday. So yesterday was a busy day at work, so I did the show. I've got it processed mostly. It'll be up hopefully by the end of the day today, maybe tomorrow.
Right.
But I want to do more promotion of what's going on around Texas. So I know there's not a ton of people. Jose, obviously, is a heavy listener on the audio side.
Promoting beer events around Texas.
Yeah, well, I want to do more shows dedicated to just kind of like the quick hit interviews, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like Joe at Pine House. You know, their Round Rock location is they're hiring people. They're about to open. You know,
So you want to do a show with a bunch of like quick interviews from
I'm saying I want to do more Liquid Lunch.
uh-huh.
I want to do more days. But if it's just audio, that's cool. So it's just quick hit interviews, and it'll be posted as podcasts.
Oh, okay.
But live streaming on our audio stream, and I could live stream the audio to Twitter.
Okay.
Facebook used to have an audio only feed, but they've since done away with it because nobody did it. But their apparatus was not very user friendly. You couldn't adjust your levels or anything. Everything was always distorted. Anyway, that's
Well, couldn't you just go do like live video, but only put audio out? Have like a still, and then put the
suppose
audio?
I could, or just the
I mean,
the audio, what you call it, the equalizer or what? Not equalizer, but whatever, the meter, right?
I mean, because
yeah, I suppose I could do that. I could figure it out. YouTube as well.
I could just do this, and we now have an audio show.
Yeah, but no, people will turn off.
Well, I mean, or just listen to it.
Maybe. Hey, that's one thing that I will give this to Android. I'll give this to Android.
Okay.
When you're on Facebook, you can minimize Facebook and go to different apps and still listen. At least you could on the audio feed. Mm-hmm. You have to stay in the You can look at the rest of Facebook on iPhone, but you have to stay in Facebook. And I like to be in Facebook for about 2 minutes at a time, and then I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big no. I'm strictly on Facebook for Liquid Lunch,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Well, I mean, it's got its benefits. You post the pictures of the kids and
It is. I mean,
keep up
I
with
don't-
people. I like that. I like, I'm friends with a lot of our listeners, Jeffrey.
Well, I mean, I
Danny,
wouldn't have
Adam.
any sort of contact at all with some of like my childhood friends, stuff like that, if it weren't for Facebook. And it's not like I really talk to them. We're
Just gotta keep up.
we're friends,
Yeah.
and
You don't
anyway.
want to be out of the loop if something happens significant.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Marriage, kids,
Yeah,
funerals.
exactly.
Right. You want to be able to see. But I don't know. I just think it'd be really cool. Like, we did the interview with Jeffrey today, and it was a video interview, even though we were talking
It
to the
was.
hand.
Yeah.
But we could do quick. He
Oh.
was driving, and we were able to talk to him the entire time. It sounded great.
Well, I think the second half of the interview, he wasn't driving. I think
But he was walking out at
I
the
think he was
brewery.
walking around because he
was at
got
the brewery.
he got a little winded at some point.
That show, we can do a live show from, technically speaking, we could do a live show from Jester King.
Man, I would love to do a live show from Jester King.
You think anybody would show up, though?
To our show?
Yeah, if we didn't.
Well, there'd be just a random all those people from Jester King. All right.
I know that, but I'm
for
saying
Jester
like,
King.
if we did like a meetup.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are here in Houston. But
I bet Caitlin would come visit us.
Yeah. Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I bet Jason would come visit us. Jason Pitts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else do we know in Austin?
I mean, there's quite a few. I know people. I'm sure if we talk to people. Anyway, I don't know. I want to talk to more people. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like knowing what's going on. I like being in the loop.
I feel like Jester King, there's enough people there, people of the sort that would just randomly come and talk to us
Yeah.
on the show.
That's true. It'd be interesting conversations the entire time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are really passionate about what they do.
Yeah. I don't know if it'd be the best conversations, but
It'd be interesting.
yeah.
You know,
I think we'd have to hear a lot about hiking
nothing wrong with hiking.
and camping. And
Paddleboarding, probably a lot of paddleboarding.
yeah.
Paddleboarding's big in Austin.
Lots of beer nerdery.
I like that.
Yeah.
You got me sold right there. Let's do it. Anyway, I'm mulling over the idea of the audio. Like, I have a face made for radio. I know that. I know that. And
Well, I'm screwed both ways. Wait,
hey man, whatever you're into,
That's-
I don't. That's on you, man. That's
Oh, Jeffrey was saying that we should do a live show from the grain cellar.
we've done Interbrews from the grain cellar. We should
could.
do a live.
We could.
Yeah. I like the idea of brewing and hanging out and stuff. But when you do just brewing shows, you can't just have the one person brewing and talking.
Yeah.
It's too work intensive. You got to pay attention when you brew. And so we'd need at least 5 or 6 people to do a brew and show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of today's episode, as I sniff my beer, it has very lemony. You get any lemon?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Le Petit.
It's hoppier than I thought it would be.
Yes. Well, when you have a small grain, the smaller grain bill, which is how you get the low ABV, then the hop presence comes through. But, you could learn all of that. Like what would get you a very hoppy aroma without being overly bitter. You could ask Preston at the Grain Cellar,
Yeah.
Humble's premier homebrew store. Your one-stop fermenting shop. It's 240 First Street West, Humble, Texas, 77338. And right now, special deal going on. If you walk in and you tell Preston that Liquid Lunch sent you, free hugs, waist up, waist down. Side hug, front hug, full frontal. You can get full frontal.
I got a hug this weekend
Did you?
Yeah.
From Preston?
from Preston.
What type of hug? Waist up or waist down?
It was kind of a mixture of
Mixed
the-
hugmentation?
like a halfway between a side hug and a full frontal.
That's all. Okay. The important thing is to really know, like both parties need to kind of know what you're going to do as you go in. Because if you're going full frontal and they go all side,
They just want to
you end
get
up just kind of humping their leg.
like the side your hips kind of touch,
Yeah.
kind of hug like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the hand slap, bring them in, bro. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
But then every once in a while
that's the
you
guy.
go full on bear
that's the guy.
and the lift. That's when I'm feeling
Oh no,
exuberant.
there was no lifting.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I
Anyway,
grab, underhooks, lift, pat, lower down gently, and then maybe a kiss on the cheek. Just depends. It depends on how many beers I've had.
all right. So Jeffrey suggested we do a brewing show, and then ask people watching for the ingredients.
So you're saying like a weekly show where we brew beer? Man, that would be early.
I mean,
You know what my ideal scenario would be? You want to know what my ideal scenario? I've probably told you this before.
yes. Let's hear your. Before we do that, and we're still talking about grain cellar. And Jeffrey's watching. Just FYI, Jeffrey, I will be at the grain cellar Monday.
Are you going to be making
this-
cider?
No, this Sunday. I'm
wine?
No,
Cheese?
no, beer.
Hold on.
Beer.
Pickles?
Fuck no. Where's the counter?
What else? Yogurt?
No, I'll be making beer.
Sauerkraut?
No sauerkraut. No. No
Fruit wine?
fruit wine. No hard lemonade.
Mead?
No mead.
Short mead?
No short mead,
Session
no long
mead?
mead. No
Okay.
no meads of any kind.
Braggot,
No.
so beer.
So beer.
But any
yeah.
of those other things, you could get all your ingredients or information there from Preston at the Grain Cellar.
Yeah.
So what are you going to be brewing?
I don't know yet. But anyway, Jeffrey, I will be brewing Monday with Preston at the Grain Cellar.
Hey, Marcus is watching. Hey,
So
Marcus.
if you want to come out Monday,
if you want, of
if
course.
you want to come
Oh,
out
hey,
Monday,
Billy.
come out and help me brew. And then the following weekend, Julie,
Uh-huh.
good old Jules,
Yes.
is going to be brewing her first batch ever at the Grain Cellar.
You realize, I know we got the big game coming up. We're not allowed to say what it's called because we're streaming, and they're very strict about. Well,
Yeah.
we're not making any money off of it. So Super Bowl coming up, right? Have you ever heard the term "outkicked your coverage"?
Outkicked your coverage now.
As far as like a dude finding a lady that's way above his pay grade. Like you have no business having like a girl that's so good. It's like, how did you do that? Mm-hmm. You outkicked your coverage. It's a football term.
Oh,
So it's like when you punt the ball too far.
are you telling me I outkicked my coverage?
Yeah, she brews. She's cool.
Well, she hasn't brewed yet.
She's getting ready to. Right?
Yeah, she's brewing her first batch with Preston.
That's what I'm saying.
At the Grain Cellar.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying a certain piece of equipment for brewing,
Yes.
and
Let me guess. Something electric.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he kind of talked me out of it.
Okay. Were you going to go discount
So
bargain bin?
Yeah, I was.
And he's like, you should go quality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the kind of information and the advice, life advice you're getting.
That's
from Preston.
exactly what he said. So as a compromise, I'm going to brew with his sweet.
Are we not allowed to say it?
You can say Grainfather, right?
We can say the Grainfather.
Yeah. With
This
with
episode not brought to you by the Grainfather. That'd
Yeah.
be super sweet if the Grainfather wanted to jump on some liquid lunch.
and it'll be finally. I'm moving to all grain.
Does anybody know the people from the Grainfather? They're located in Australia or New Zealand, right? New Zealand, right?
I don't know.
I think their home base is New Zealand. They've
Really?
got yes. They've got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But you can get a Grainfather.
Are there temperatures in Fahrenheit, or do you have to do your own conversion?
No, you can switch. They have
I don't know,
Fahrenheit
but
and Celsius.
he was telling
You're talking
me-
about on the Grainfather?
Yeah,
You can switch.
Okay,
They
yeah,
have apps.
like that Grainfather.
But when you brew in Australia and you whirlpool,
Yeah.
whirlpool's in the opposite direction.
No. Yeah, like in Europe, the toilets flush.
Yeah.
They
It's a different hemisphere.
They spin
Actually,
their own
it's,
way.
it's just how you spin it. Marcus from Weathered Souls was watching. Marcus, if you're still watching, bless you.
Oh man,
You okay? What was that? Did you just try to do a deadlift?
it was a false alarm. There's nothing I hate worse
Oh,
than like going through all the motions of sneezing,
Yeah.
and then it just disappears.
fell short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Marcus, if you're still watching, send me a message. We
So-
need to get you on the show.
Actually, Jeffrey, it
Marcus
wasn't
from Weathered Souls.
the Robo Brew that I was talking about. I was wanting to go even cheaper than Robo Brew.
It was just a trash can with some
Yeah.
buttons painted on it.
No, it's the I guess I can say it right.
What?
The
It's a discount. Yeah, go ahead and say it.
wow, what is it? The Brewer's Edge Boil and Mash.
Okay, it's just a knockoff version of the Grainfather was first,
Yeah,
and then
but
people
it has no pump in it to recirculate the water and stuff like that, and,
Oh no, you should go.
it has no cooling unit in it.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know.
No man, if you're gonna go all electric and an all kind of a,
I mean, the Grainfather would be perfect for
In your
for my
apartment.
It'd be perfect,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I have a job in a year, so I don't want to spend that much money.
Spend it now.
Yeah.
Maybe we can work out a deal.
With Grainfather?
Somebody.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, we get lots of homebrewers watching this show, right?
Well,
Why shouldn't we?
We definitely have the important ones.
We could do a whole like Ask the Grainfather segment. Like, hey man, and he could go beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, and tell us like life advice and things like that. And then we could talk to Preston about recipes, and
Oh, you can control that thing via Bluetooth.
we could even have it on the table here as
Yeah.
a co-host.
It would honestly, it might make a better co-host than me.
Well, technically, you're not a co-host.
I know, but
You're a producer.
yeah, but I'm talking a
You're
lot.
executive producer. No, that's fine. I'm just saying.
You could probably be make a better producer than me too.
Well, it is a robot,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I haven't looked at the app. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I spent way more than a grandfather on my system.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because you get the different pieces and parts, and you just like, it's like the studio.
yeah.
They have these cool. Rode has these cool like podcast all-in-one recorder, mixer deals, but I got all these pieces. So
Apparently, you can use Alexa to brew on the Grainfather.
can you really?
Yeah.
Amazon and the Grainfather, hit us up. Somebody pass that along. We could do a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Somebody should donate a Grainfather to me
why?
because I'm worth it.
No, they should like we should do a promotion thing.
Oh.
Somebody.
Look, you see, you just messaged us.
Yeah, it's my wife. Hey, Kelly. How's it going? How's it sound?
Oh. How we looking?
She likes the fact that on this show she can mute me,
Oh.
you know?
Because you can't do that in real life.
No, I don't shut up. That's why she's like, go do a show. So, you know. Kelly, the owner and head coach, executive coach, I don't know, at Destination Gymnastics. So if you see the big blue bus around Cypress, tuck the gym bus, give a wave. So, yeah. What else? What else we got? What do you think about the La Petite?
It's good. I like it.
It is good. And I love the low ABV and the full flavor. And it smells, all the good smells. There's a lot of, is there lemon in it? Any kind of citrus? Citrus is like any zest?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
It doesn't? It doesn't say, it hasn't, let me see.
No,
Typically it has
hold
an
on.
ingredients list.
I'll let you look at it in a second.
Oh yeah. Pour yourself a, take it all. Go. Go, go, go. There you go. Get all the,
Did you just tell me to take it all?
yep. That's what we've gotten to. All right, here we go. Ingredients. It doesn't say. Hill Country Well Water,
swear I
Texas
just said
malted
that.
barley from Blackland's Malt. Shout out to Blackland, just down the street from my brother-in-law. Malted wheat, raw wheat, hops, mixed culture, brewer's yeast, and no, doesn't have any. No fruit. That's amazing. Yeah, all that citrusy flavor all comes from the grain. Bright wheat and yeast, and they're in the green bottles.
And the hops.
Yeah. Good job. Can I keep that bottle?
Yeah, you can't keep my Spawn bottle.
No. I just want the bigger
Yeah,
bottle.
you can keep that one.
So, anyway. All right. Was there anything else we need to talk about?
Oh, you were.
We missed-
I think you were about to tell me your ultimate dream. And we got.
It was just this.
We got distracted.
Yeah, no, it's just this. I would love to do Liquid Lunch 4 days a week, and then on Fridays, Interbrews. Boom. Like as a, like a sit-down interview, awesome show, right? Mm-hmm. That's the vision. Every day, interviewing people about beer across Texas and beyond. Like I had Randy Mosher on Interbrews. That was a fun interview.
Yeah.
Did you know?
He's a great author.
Yeah, he is.
Uh-huh.
Did you know you have taste receptors in your bones?
Yes. You talked about this last week.
Yes, I'm just saying. And I had Fal Allen on. I've talked to some other authors. What?
Oh, Danny just left a link. A Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, link
A
to
Facebook
the
grandfather
grandfather group.
link. Yeah, a grandfather group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. My wife's either talking to the cat or a door-to-door salesman.
Oh.
We have a cat that hangs out.
Do they still have door-to-door salesmen?
They do, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That-
it's annoying.
That industry hasn't dead yet?
Not yet. And you know what? They came trying to sell cable. Hey, man, you should sign up for cable. No, I shouldn't. I cut that years ago. I watch shows like Liquid Lunch now. That's where I get my entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what life's become.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to do this weekend?
Um,
It's the weekend between the playoffs and the Super Bowl, so you don't have to watch football.
I'm a little embarrassed.
What? You got no plans?
No, I'm off this Saturday. I'm not working,
Congratulations.
so I can go with Jules
Yes.
and a couple of other friends
Go on.
on a Harry Potter pub crawl.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not even a Harry Potter fan.
You've missed the point.
Yeah.
Pub was the
Yeah.
operative word.
But it's not like it's just a regular bars. It's not like
What bars?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Where?
I'm
What part of
kinda-
town?
it's downtown.
Do they have craft beer at said bars?
I don't know.
I bet you they do.
I don't know. But it's
bet
not
you.
going to be like I'd rather do like a brewery pub crawl or something like that. That would be cool. But it's
You
not.
could
It's
do
just,
that. You could do that here in town now.
Yeah.
There's a few places that are close enough. Mm-hmm. You could definitely do Great Heights and Walking Stick,
So also this weekend, and
Holler and Platypus.
yeah, Buffalo Bayou
Mm-hmm.
is having their 7th year anniversary.
Yes. You gonna go to that?
Well, I'm going on this Harry Potter pub crawl.
Currently, you can't
I could try to talk everybody out of it.
who do you have to talk out? Like, how many people? And are they craft beer drinkers?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm going with a certain person and like a bunch of her friends.
You're going with Jules. You already said that.
Yeah, but she's not leading. She's not the leader in this one. She's not.
So you don't- you
She's
just
not
don't
the
know.
organizer.
Okay. Well,
Some butterbeer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll have stuff like that, like
Yeah.
butterbeer. And
you know what I'm excited about?
have you read the Harry Potter books or watched all the movies?
I've been in the room when the movies were on. I didn't pay real close attention.
Yeah. See, I haven't. I've watched the first movie like many years. I guess close to when it first came out. Mm-hmm. And oh, Julie's watching.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Can we start at BB?
Yeah, with Buffalo Bayou. We could.
I think you have to have tickets for that event.
We
though.
do have to have tickets
Make sure
for
you
that.
can still get them. That's a big. I'm a fan of Russell.
So,
You ever
What?
met Russell?
no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So Julie, when does this pub crawl start?
Yeah.
Do we have time to go to Buffalo first?
They always have. You're not going to find boring flavors.
At Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh no,
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 it's going to be
no. You are
a
not.
whimsical journey across the palette sky or something.
No. So Jeffrey says his oldest kid is starting to read Harry Potter.
I'm glad they're reading.
I'm actually. So I have a lot of. Sometimes I have extra time to read,
Yeah.
and I've been a coworker of mine has like really been on me about the Harry Potter books. So
Really?
So I just started reading them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd dedicate that much time. What do you normally read if you're just going to read? Fiction or nonfiction?
A mixture of both.
Okay. What if it's nonfiction? What subject?
I don't know, different kind of
Like music, biographies, anything
more,
like that?
more like history type stuff.
Okay. Any particular like era that most fascinates you?
It's I'm all over the place. I mean, I guess my favorite era would probably be like, World War II.
Okay. Did you ever watch
That's
the Ken Burns documentary?
Yes, I have.
The whole thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah. That's worth watching though,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so I'm all over. But now I just started the Harry Potter books.
Okay.
They're okay. They're not
Well, they're
great.
for kids.
They're definitely. You could definitely tell they're kids' book.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I think it's good to read, exercise your brain. Okay.
So the pub crawl starts at 4.
Uh-huh.
I might be able to go to this Buffalo Bayou one.
Yeah. You got to look and see if there's tickets available though. It's
Yeah.
a pretty hot ticket.
Is it?
Yeah. Is this the last year they're going to do it in their old brewery? When's the new brewery open?
Oh, and I can only imagine how parking's horrible at Buffalo Bayou.
Park somewhere else and Uber over.
I mean, absolutely horrible there.
Maybe park at Drink of Ages and then Uber over. Is that close? Ish
I mean, ish,
for an Uber?
sir. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Geography is not my strong suit. I don't. Let's see. It's right off of what, I-10, Buffalo Bayou.
Yeah, like by the Washington part. The hip Washington stretch,
Let's see,
but
where could you?
but not towards like the
Cotton?
platypus and stuff.
Cottonwood, maybe. You can park at Cottonwood.
Yeah, that's even further.
Is it?
Yeah,
Boomtown Coffee. Is that further? I'm thinking Heights, right? No.
I don't know where Boomtown Coffee is.
Okay. I think it's like another block up from Cottonwood. Onion Creek. I don't know.
Yeah, Onion Creek's over by Fitzgerald's, R.I.P. Fitzgerald's.
No longer with us.
No,
Okay.
they had their last show. I think the Christmas show was the last concert they had there.
Oh.
They had been open since like 1980.
Hey, Master Bait is watching or listening
What?
on Mixler. That's who it
His
is.
name is Master Bait.
Bhait. Master. He's like probably raps or something.
Master. No,
Bot.
that's got to be a joke name.
You don't think that's probably the name his mother gave him?
His mother gave him a name of Master.
Master. Well, he's probably very rich. He's probably a multi-billionaire.
Or maybe he just has a master's degree.
Maybe. Or he's a black belt in kung fu. Or red sash.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but
they're
to
black belts.
have-
Red sash.
Oh, the anniversary bash is from 6 to 9.
69.
So we're not going to. We're not going to. We're gonna.
Jules, start negotiating with your friends.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more fun at Buffalo Bayou. I
We're
promise.
gonna.
You can still bring your wand.
That's what I bought it on Amazon.
A wand,
No,
a cape.
no, I bought
Glasses?
for the
We
Harry
have
Potter
glasses.
pub crawl. I bought a T-shirt.
Just a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a wand.
I'm not going to spend money on a wand. I could. Can I go outside and like break a twig off your tree?
No,
'Cause
a
that'll
tree
be-
is about the size of a twig.
Because that'll be a good wand.
It's too green. Yeah, too green. Gotta let those things rest. Anyway, all right. Well, what else do we need to talk about before we wrap up today's show? I'm not trying to rush anybody off, but the lunch break is only so long.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know we had Jeffrey Stuffings on today? If you're just like jumping in now, you need to rewind back and listen to Jeffrey. He's
Did you know that
one of my heroes.
Jeffrey Stuffings and Jeffrey
Huh?
R. Jeffrey
Griffiths?
Griffiths?
Yeah.
They have
Did you get your...
same name, Jeffrey, and they spell it differently.
Yeah, I almost misspelled Jeffrey Stuffing's name a couple times because
There's a-
I'm used to looking at...
There's a E-R-Y and a R-E-Y
Yeah.
spelling of
I had
that
to check
name
myself.
before you wrecked yourself.
I did. So, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and let's do the old wrapperoo, unless you got something else you want to specifically, talk about.
No.
Okay, here's the request.
All right.
Anybody watching today? One, let us know who you'd like to hear on the show, interview-wise. We are looking to do a lot more interviews and promote a lot more stuff. So if you're a brewer, bar owner, just an interesting person, we're looking to, and no beer at all. We're looking to do more interviews because I think that's fun. And then also that Amazon link. If you're doing some Amazon shopping, like Kennedy did
Hold on.
when he bought his shirt.
Hold on. I got this. Mm-hmm. Where'd it go? Oh,
I don't know.
There we go. I got this.
There you go. Also things we've been kicking around for this year. Astros opening day.
Oh.
I need to talk to Mary to really nail down all the exclusives, but I think this is pretty much we're going to do this. I took the day off work.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I may have the day off. Hold on.
Well, while you're checking on that, I'll talk about what we're going to do. So this baseball season, pitchers and catchers they have not reported yet. They're about to. We're still waiting to see where Harper goes and who is it, Machado? A couple other free agents. They just announced who's going into the Hall of Fame, I think. What's the closer for the Yankees? Mariano Rivera, right? Is that him? First ever unanimous induction in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. So, opening day of baseball is Thursday, the 28th?
Yes.
March 28th?
I put in my request for that day off.
Okay. So, the Astros' first game, I think opening day is the day before, is on Wednesday. It's always Cincinnati, typically. They play.
So Thursday's not the opening day?
It's the opening day for the Astros, but I think the actual opening day, like they always do like a big ceremony. Cincinnati's the oldest baseball team, the Cincinnati Reds. And so
Yeah.
they always play on opening day. At least they have in the past. I don't
So the Astros aren't playing Cincinnati.
No.
All right.
Astros are playing Tampa Bay, in Tampa Bay,
Okay.
or in Tampa. So they're playing the Rays. But we're going to have a watch party at Thistle Draft Shop.
Pre-show / watch.
Well, we're going to do the
watch-
pre-show at
pre-show.
noon, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do the rundown and break down the season, the Astros and the Rays rosters, like
All right.
player per player. Kennedy's super excited about this.
I feel like we really need to get like a good, like, big Astros fan, like a super fan,
Okay.
to be on our show.
What about a former Astros player or somebody that knows a guy that used to play for the Astros?
Do you know somebody like that?
I know people.
Oh, well, if you could do that, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. It's all in the works. But we're going to do a big preseason, pre-first game of the season.
Is it Craig Biggio?
He watches the show, but I didn't want to brag.
Oh.
I didn't want to brag. Him and Jeff Bagwell, they hang out.
We're going to get Jose Cruz.
All three of them. They get together and they watch this show every week.
Well, I think Biggio I think he's part of an organization.
He was with the Astros.
Is he with the Astros still?
He was, yeah.
No, I mean like he's a coach.
Oh, like maybe like coaching
like a
college.
hitting coach or maybe something like that.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. So you're saying he may be busy?
Yeah, so
He still watches the show, though.
Yeah,
Totally.
obviously, but
Yeah.
I mean he may not be able to make that.
Biggio, Bagwell, Jose Cruz, Earl Campbell, and Hakeem Olajuwon. They all get together, and Beyonce.
Yeah,
All the big names in Houston.
walk into a bar.
No, they all get together and watch Liquid Lunch. But anyway, so we're going to do that show at noon, and then everybody's going to hang out and watch the game at Thistle Draft Shop in spring. So
I needed to have that day off.
3 hours.
Yeah.
But I want to get a Tampa brewery on so we can talk smack.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if y'all have a favorite Tampa brewery, I know Cigar City's in Tampa. There's some others though. I've been doing a little bit of research. So that's the thing coming up. So we'll have more details as that gets closer because we're still in January. Right. Next week we'll still be in January. We got one more week of January after this week. All right, I'm gonna hit some music. You got anything else?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got 3.5 minutes to, chit chat.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of today's show?
I thought it was, since I'm such a big fan of Cantillon, I really liked when he was going on about, when Jeffrey was going on about how they do their spontaneous fermentation and stuff. I think all that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like this show. This show's spontaneously fermented.
And a lot of funkiness comes out of it.
There's a lot of fun. If y'all are in this room right now, the funk in this room is it's unparalleled. You know what my favorite part of the show was?
Seeing me walk in the door.
I mean, if you bring beer, sure.
Okay.
Jeffrey Stuffings is a Texas beer hero of mine.
No.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are my favorite types of beers.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And there's a lot of videos online on YouTube, so just go search Jester King, and you'll get a full appreciation for everything that they offer up. It's really spectacular. It's worth the trip to Austin, wherever you're at. What else?
Well, Jeffrey just said that he may not watch us next week because he's moving. And it's a good time to point out if you can't catch the live show,
Yes.
just come back on our YouTube page and you could watch it. It's still there.
Or,
Our Facebook page, watch it. It's still there.
yeah, it's always there.
Go to our YouTube page the next day, and I repost it in HD.
HD, fabulous HD.
Edited, work out any kinks there might be.
So sometimes the show's
So-
like 7 minutes after you edited.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, there's a lot of shows that aren't even there.
Also, Twitter, you can. I'll pin this episode to the top. So every time we have a new episode, I pin it to the top of our Twitter feed. And if you're more into that audio, you just like that luscious audio in your ear hole, just subscribe anywhere finer podcasts are downloaded. That includes iTunes and Google and Stitcher and iHeart and TuneIn and where else? Google Play. Did I say that already?
I don't know. Where are you moving, Jeffrey?
Spotify. We're on Spotify.
Are you moving closer to civilization?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. Let us know.
Are you moving to Fairfield?
Nah, he's not that blessed. Anyway, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this week. A big, huge thanks to Jeffrey Stuffings of Jester King
Yeah. That was
in
awesome.
Austin. Check out their event this week, the Doom Forge Day on Saturday, going on all day. And if you can't make it into Austin, go to a local brewery near you and meet people and press the flesh, make a friend, buy somebody a beer. All this stuff going on in the world, it fades away when you buy somebody a beer and shoot them a smile and a little. So that's all we need to do. Buy somebody a beer, and that'll take care of a lot of society's ills.
Yeah.
Right.
And you'll feel good about it.
You'll feel good about it for sure. So we'll see you right back here next week for Kennedy. My name is Josh for Jeffrey Stuffings. Thanks to the great seller. See you next week on Liquid Lunch. Master Pot, thank you, sir. And to Jeffrey, are we still on Facebook too? So we just ended it. Now this is like bonus.
We're on. As soon as I click this button, we're not going to be on anymore.
Oh, are we still on Twitter?
And
Oh, you
boom.
faded and then you came up. Oh, we're done.